Okay, so let's see. Hopefully you have the vertex is -7, -8. The axis of symmetry is x equals -7. You hopefully have the x equals. The domain would be all reals. The range would be y is less than or equal to -8. So let me answer a couple of questions that I envision some of you having. First thing is vertex is opposite, same. So +7, -8. Oh, I'm sorry. I just said the wrong thing. Opposite of this is -7, same is -8, -7, -8. Perfect. The axis of symmetry is the same as whatever this is, x equals -7. So now we have that. Domain. Well, this is a parabola that opens downward. If I'm thinking about a graph, it opens downward. Why do I know it opens downward? Because it's negative in front of the a. So it opens downward. It's pretty wide because it's a 1/2. A little wider. And it goes forever and ever to the left. It goes forever and ever to the right. It is all reals. And when you see that symbol, remember that means all real numbers. It's the double R as well. Now the range is different. The range has a maximum only. Because this is negative, there's only a maximum point. And if this is the maximum point, that means I have y values everywhere else, and it still goes down and forever to the right. So I use all these values below, but not above. So that means if it's below, I have to have y is less than. Less than what? Less than the y coordinate of my vertex. Y is to be less than -8 for my range. What is range? Range are your y values. What is your domain? That's your x values. Keep that in mind. So going on to the bottom one, opposite, 12 for the x, opposite, 71 for the y. This the axis of symmetry, x equals the same, x equals 12. The opens upward, it's very narrow. So I use all reals for my domain, but my range, since this is the bottom, I use values greater than that. I use y is greater than 70, greater than or equal to 71. By the way, somebody in my last year's class said, are these always going to be all reals? Yes, but that's because we're only using parabolas that open up and down. If on your SATs they put a parabola that opens left and right, just like that other example I gave you, then these two things will be switched. Okay? Hopefully that helps. Next problems for you. Now I want you to graph it. So turn your whiteboards over, use the graph paper, and I want you to graph this equation. Remember what f of x means? It means y equals. I want you to graph negative, parentheses, x plus 2 squared. I try to throw in one little tricky question right there. And then I have another question here. I want you to try graph both of them. You may work together, learn how to do this, and then I'll go over it in a moment.